Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol MNGA. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to do this time frame that does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price and then makes mapping out where levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Now, in this situation, I want to just essentially summarize the price action. So, and I get it, there's kind of many viewpoints here, but taking a step back and just looking at the general idea of essentially what happened today, if you were to force me into a corner and say, Clay, summarize this, I would call this a flat-out pump and dump on thin ice. Now, real quick, I'm not calling the company a pump and dump. I don't know anything about the company. I'm making this statement based solely on how the price acted today, hence the price action. So from a price action perspective, I would call it a pump and dump on thin ice, and I'll get to what I mean by thin ice point here in a second. But real quick, what is my definition of a pump and dump? Well, where a price makes a really nice move, and then within a relatively short amount of time, the price goes either back to where it started or in some cases lower. So let's just kind of quickly establish the point here that for quite a while, the price was struggling and could not, really just get up above 26 cents. I realize I'm stating the obvious when I say that, but you go back through the history of the chart, and yeah, it was very clearly stuck, below that level. So that is, in technical jargon, the breakout point. That is where the move essentially started. So let's go through the definition real quick. Price makes a really nice move. Well, we just established it started there on the breakout, and then the price went all the way up there. I'm thinking we can all agree that that was indeed a very nice move. Second part of the definition, within a relatively short amount of time. Considering this all happened in one single day, once again, I'm hoping we can all agree this did indeed happen in a relatively short amount of time. The price goes back to where it started, or in some cases lower. Now, this is where the thin ice point comes into play, so let's actually make this into the color of ice. So there we go. So why is 26 cents the thin ice point? Well, to be fair to the price could come down here, do something like this, and then start to work its way back upwards. And from that point of view, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have these lows down there. If you picture these as stair steps, well, hey, the overall stair steps are progressing in the upwards direction. On the flip side of things, though, if the price comes down here, walks along the thin ice point, and then it breaks below it and continues on down, well, what would you have at that point in time? Not to insult your intelligence, but you would have the price literally right back to where things started. And price movements that go back to where they were, that would be, the epitome of a pump and dump, where the price has made a nice move, and then all of a sudden it's right back to where it began, not a sign of any sort of genuine strength. So, in other words, keep an eye on 26 cents. That's a very important level moving forward.
One of the biggest questions I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.